Good evening. Update here on the Phillip Adams murder case. Unfortunately, as we've seen before, inaccurate information on Wikipedia. Wikipedia has turned into a joke in terms of accurate information. We have two hard, convincing pieces of evidence that would negate the claims on Wikipedia. The first is in a criminal case, any criminal case, the district attorney holds the cards. It's not up to some private lawyer, Johnny Cochran, Dream Team lawyers. It's up to in the United States, it's up to the district attorney. So you can't have Bill Smith or John Doe saying, I think this nightclub shooter should be charged with murder or should get the death penalty, or this person should not be charged, this case or that. It's up to the district attorney for obvious reasons. And in the Phillip Adams murder of several people, white people, including two children. Clearly a murder case. There's been some rumors about he was brain damaged. Could be true. You have thousands of athletes that are unfortunately brain damaged from, if you watch any NFL game, you'll see why. Fortunately, a very small sliver of these people go on to commit horrendous crimes. So no excuse there for Phillip Adams. It is a murder case. Most likely will not be charged since he blew his brains out. So there you go. It's he did murder those people, and there were news outlets or liberal news outlets trying to defend him for unfortunate reasons, shady reporting, as Trump would say. So not true. And if you're going to go down that road, hypothetically, like we said, it would have to be the district attorney would have to make that case. It wouldn't be CNN or whoever made these stories that Wikipedia is referencing. Doesn't have the authority to do that. It only could come from the district attorney, which the district attorney has not done. So Wikipedia can't even do that, even if they wanted to. It's just complete 100% made up. So that's the first part. The other, we actually don't need a second part. The first part's 100% convincing. The second part is also damaging to Wikipedia. In legal terms, and I'll keep this very simple because most people don't have a legal background. In a criminal case and a civil case, I believe as well, the lawyers, when they submit their case, they have what's called a legal precedent. If you've seen the movie Philadelphia with Tom Hanks, you'll see the scene where Denzel Washington meets Tom Hanks in the library, and he's starting to think about taking his case, and he asks him if there's any legal precedent. Has there been any prior case where they've used that argument in a trial? And in the brain damage case on a murder charge, that has never been used before in the history of the United States. So even hypothetically, if the district attorney were to go down that route, it would be unprecedented. A very, very weak case to do that. And it still doesn't change the fact of what he did. So, whatever his reason was for what he did, the brain damage, you can say was a factor, but that doesn't excuse what he did whatsoever. And as the media likes to do, regardless of the motive, sometimes we don't know the motive. But regardless, it was an African-American killing several white people, which is the 100% in the conservative ideology on race relations. So you have, if a white person were to kill an African-American, the South Carolina church shooter, you have the news media is all over that, which the news media is not the judge here, as I've just called them out on this case. And then you have an African-American Phillip Adams shooting several white people, and they didn't specify that in the story, which, like we said, that doesn't change it. And the news media clearly gets called out here, so they're not fooling anybody. Trump's got them on that. and it doesn't change. The news media on race relations, or the Democrats, try and say, okay, we have these white people committing these crimes against African Americans, but they don't call it the other way. So when Phillip Adams murders several white people, they don't specify race, but they don't have to, because we saw what happened, and they did that. So we don't need to do any further research. We see with our own eyes that African Americans commit crimes against whites, and the Democrats can defend them or say this or that, but that's not what matters. What matters is the fact that you have African Americans doing the same thing. And we'll end it at there. Thank you.